Our next story is also about Ukraine and Russia. It involves an investigation into sabotage and terrorism. It's about the 2022 Nord Stream blasts. Some of you may remember what happened. You may remember these images from September 2022. These are giant gas leaks in the Baltic Sea. It was the largest release of natural gas ever recorded. The gas was leaking from two pipelines, the Nord Stream 1 and 2. These two pipelines connected Russia to Germany. Western Europe received natural gas from Russia via these pipelines. But in September 2022, the pipelines were blown up. And we still don't know who was behind it. Who did it? Was it Russia? Was it Ukraine? The US? Aliens? 1,000 theories were doing the rounds, but we never really discovered the truth. But now, almost 2 years since the explosions, we have another lead. A new report has come out laying out a new theory. This one points fingers squarely at Ukraine. I'll give you a quick overview. The plot was apparently hatched in May 2022. The war was on in full swing. Kiev had Western support, but it came with some disclaimers. Europe would need Ukraine, would help Ukraine, but it would continue buying Russian gas. Germany in particular. It was dependent on the cheap Russian fuel. And Germany received it directly via the Nord Stream pipelines. So some Ukrainians decided to make Germany and the rest of Europe kick the habit, quit it, cold turkey. How? By blowing up the source of their cheap fuel, the Nord Stream pipelines. They decided to blow them up. The new report says Ukraine blew up the pipelines and that everyone in Kiev was on board, including the country's president, Volodymyr Zelensky. In fact, he's the one who gave the go-ahead. So a plan was set in motion. A 6-member crew was chosen to carry out this attack. It had both military personnel and civilians, expert divers who would lay explosives near the pipelines. This sabotage crew pretended to be a group of friends. They rented a private yacht and set sail from the German port of Rostock. The yacht made its way across the Baltic. In the dead of night, amid freezing temperatures, the crew members dived into the depths of the Baltic. They placed an explosive on the pipelines, an explosive called HMX. These bombs were attached to time detonators. They were placed on both the Nord Stream pipelines, and then the crew continued their yacht trip. They left. Eventually, on September 26th, the bombs went off at two different locations. Both Nord Stream pipelines were damaged, and Russia's grip on Europe was loosened. This is what the new report says about the operation. But more interesting than the method is the politics. Apparently, Zelensky later tried to call off the attack. The report says that America's CIA got wind of the plot and they told Zelensky to abort the mission, so he allegedly tried to stop it. He told his army chief to hit the brakes. But by then it was too late. The Ukrainian army had cut contact with the sabotage crew, so nothing could be done to stop them. At least this is what the new report claims. Meanwhile, the German police have also been investigating this attack, and they issued an arrest warrant last month for a Ukrainian diving instructor who was living in Poland. He is thought to be one of the civilians involved in the attack. His arrest would have helped with the German probe. But then another twist took place. Poland apparently chose not to act on the arrest warrant, and the Ukrainian diver was allowed to flee the country. He is thought to have made his way back to Ukraine, where the German police will not be able to touch him. This would have also tipped off other suspects. So all of them, all the suspects, are thought to be back in Ukraine now, meaning the German probe might get stalled, but it all points fingers to Ukraine. Although we may not be able to verify the new theory. Of course, we've already got the denials from the key players. Ukraine says it has nothing to do with the explosions. It has blamed Russia. Yes, that was to be expected. But surprisingly, Russia too has panned this new theory. It says Ukraine would not have attacked without American approval. So Moscow has denounced the theory for saying that the CIA tried to stop the attack. Russia says these are, and I'm quoting, these are fairy tales worthy of the brothers Grimm. The Kremlin believes that both the US and the UK are involved in the attack. an accusation that both nations have also denied. The question now is, if Ukraine is indeed found guilty, will it be held accountable? This is an act of sabotage. It caused so much hardship for ordinary Europeans. So will the US and its allies hold Ukraine to account, or will they give it a free pass? Will a terrorist act be condemned only if a Western rival commits it? If Ukraine is really guilty, then this case will show the world the West's true colors.
Across continents, one powerful news source.
Bringing you diverse perspectives on the issues that matter.
We go beyond the boundaries to give you that little extra about every sporting moment.
So thank you for making Firstpost 5 million strong. We're counting on your support, and you can trust us to bring you the news unfiltered and unvarnished.
Climate change is on our doorstep. It's time for a revolution to take root. And it starts with 1.4 billion Indians. It starts with one tree for humanity, one tree for Mother Earth, one tree for our future. Project One Tree, a News 18 network initiative.
On the show today, the T20 World Cup Vantage has moved across to the West Indies. What can you expect from this?
Hello, I'm Alice Green, coming to you from Durban, South Africa. Today we have a special show.
Start with a report on India's shifting nuclear posture. For the first time since India officially became a nuclear power.
Hello and welcome to Firstpost America. I'm Aaron Ham, coming to you live from the nation's capital in Washington, D.C.